5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. This is the playoff edition. No holding back now, right on to the wild card.
Oh, yes.
Although, depends, how much of a cloud is hanging over you over that last performance.
The last two or last one?
Well, yeah, it could be last two. Last one was worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you make of a playoff team going into the playoffs off of 2 straight losses?
Here's the thing: when you lose 2 straight, it can happen. I mean, Pittsburgh lost 4 straight, but when you lose 2 division games and then go to the playoffs, there's no momentum, but you can always get that back. But 1-5 in the North is a sour taste. And you can also say that you're one fingertip away from Carl Brooks from getting swept by everybody.
Yeah.
So it's something that you have to do a deep dive in the off season, beating Detroit, Minnesota, and what happened against Chicago, which we're going to talk about. The thing about, because I've been on both sides. I've been on when we've had this show, and this is it. You're packing up, you're not going to the playoffs, and I've also been excited where you're going to the playoffs. It's a new season. But the thing is, when you have a young team like this, they don't really know that. Some of the rookies, Tom, these guys are playing in bowl games, or they're home, or watching TV, watching the game. They don't really know. But now it's a total reset, and that's when your head coach comes in. And here's what my observation is. I think, by me being an executive chef, I don't like a lot of people in my kitchen. Now, I like sous chefs to give me the ingredients I need, but ultimately, how this food tastes, I'm gonna get the blame for, especially from my wife, okay? And my uncle who taught me to cook. But I think there's a lot of stuff Matt LaFleur, information he's getting from everybody, because it's a lot of people giving their opinions, and because you got consultants, you got coaches, you got all these people. He has to be the chef.
Yeah.
Because we know who the chef is in Kansas City. We know who the chef is in Detroit. We know who the chef is in Denver. You have to say, I made a decision, and we're going to go with it, so you can let your young guys know, hey, listen, I have to know where I have to be down the stretch in games like this. And it's just a lot. It seems like a lot going on in Matt's head he has to clear out.
I think so, too. And I think some of that would be best done with some of the players, too. Like, just talking to one of the players, and I won't name them, I was like, so what, do you ever go up to Jordan and say, hey, look, I was open here, look for me the next time on this? And he said, well, there's a lot of layers you got to go through. And I'm like, what's stopping guys from going to the quarterback or going to the head coach or the play caller, in this case the same, and saying, hey, I'm open. If you just, if we do this, there's a chance I could get open. I mean, give the guy, I think the players have the best feel for what's going on in the game. Now, it doesn't mean the coach is going to call it, but that's more information.
Yeah.
That's really good information, I think. And
No, you're right about that. We have discussions eternally, especially quarterbacks and receivers. I mean, they have to be synchronized. They have signals that sometimes the coaches don't even know.
Yeah.
They just know that, because let's be honest, every wide receiver think they're open, but
Correct.
the conversation could always be, I know the play is for one progression to get the ball, but if he's covered, I got a nice matchup over here, and we'll get them next time. Because what you don't want is how the mom comes back with the worm, and you got the little mouths, like, give it to me, give it to me. Now the quarterback's overloaded, now he shuts down. Because really Jordan's in his next year will be his third year starting. So I get the balance. But you can do that in the off season too.
He looks a little overloaded. He looks like he's not taking chances when there are chances to be taken, and he's, not letting some plays play through. And I don't know if that's because he's so worried about throwing interceptions. If they got that.
Well, he hasn't thrown one in 7 weeks.
Right.
So.
But, now it's the playoffs, and you gotta take a couple tight windows,
I got a suggestion. I have a suggestion to cure that. That's just my opinion. And I don't have to be right about it. But I played in a lot of playoff games, and the more confidence my coaches felt in me, I'm through the roof. I would do a hurry-up offense with him. Let him pick his own plays.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, pick the ones you like in the first 15. We're going to catch these Philly, because you know why, Tom? If we get up 14-0 or 21-3, their crowd will turn against them, and the coaches may fight each other, the players may fight each other. So we're going to give them the element of surprise. By building your confidence says on you. What do you like the first 15? What do you like? Let's build it in. Everybody knows it, but it's on you. Because you know this. During the season, yes, it's on everybody for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs about quarterbacks and defense. Your quarterback got to play at a high clip if you want to be an elite player in this league. And that's why that Dallas game was a signature game for him. I never forget when he got the protection correct.
Yep.
He got everybody right, hit Wicks on that post.
Yeah.
That's the love you need.
Yeah. Well, it helps to have guys running free, too, which I don't see
Well,
very
yeah,
often.
that's true.
But let's look ahead. First, we need to address the fact that Christian Watson tore his ACL in that game, and that's just horrible for him. He's did all he could to come back from the hamstring injury, got over it, didn't bother him all year long, had a couple knee things, and then he tears his ACL on a non-contact play.
Well, our previous show, you had asked me who you would play. He was one that I wouldn't have played him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have played him either.
No, I mean, even if the numbers come down to 3 or 4 wide receivers, that's one guy I'm going to guarantee I play against Philly, because he's your deep threat.
Yeah, and you only got 4 wide receivers. You got because Dobbs was out too.
Yes, yeah.
And you could have brought somebody up, but that one.
Well, Musgrave is up. I mean, they can use.
Yeah.
And their opponent is Chicago, and stay tuned for X's and O's. We're going to show a couple crucial plays, but I mean, the thing about it, I really didn't even want to play Jordan at one point. Somebody asked me, I said, why play him? Let Malik play the game, but they want to play to win. So that's what's such a sour taste. You played your starters, and you didn't look good doing it. The first play was a holding penalty on the special teams
was awful. Just how can you have that kind of a special teams performance in the last regular season? I mean, embarrassing. That's what you hired the guy for, to not let those kind of things happen.
Yeah.
Now, going into the playoffs, a lot of what I've been hearing is, the Eagles have a stacked roster. Their roster is really good. I mean, it might be one of the best rosters. I still think Detroit's a better team, but Philly might have the most talent of any.
Philly has more talent, but Detroit has the smoke and the swagger.
Yeah.
And that's an intimidating factor to teams. And the Philly teams don't love each other. Detroit guys love each other.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. But that Jalen Carter and that Jordan Davis, from both of those, the nose and the tackle from Georgia.
Yeah, those are 2 guys who got a block.
So, they got a lot of talent.
Right.
And Dallas Goedert, I think, just got back right.
Yes, Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, he just got back. Yeah.
I think the one
they got
thing
a lot of talent
that benefits the Packers, and not it gives them a chance, is that they've played some great teams this year. You know, they've played Minnesota twice, Detroit twice.
Yeah.
They had to play Houston. They had to play on the road against Seattle, which is not
Yes.
a bad team.
Yes.
And, you know, they've competed in every single one.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get over the top. But you look at them statistically, and they're right at the top of a lot of things. So they're just kind of hovering below everybody else. Do they have, you know, is it possible that a hovering team can push itself above all the others? I don't know. That's kind of what the question is going into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. There's not a lot of evidence in the last 48 Super Bowls that one against one in the championship game go to the Super Bowl. It's happened maybe 13 times. Put that to the side. This is something I used to ask Lee Rimmel. I went in his office. I said, now, do you have to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs to win a Super Bowl? He said it'd be nice because we have a home field advantage. And that's what we used to say. We used to always go to Dallas. We used to always, the playoffs, we never had home field. So when we got home field, we went to the Super Bowl. But I'll say this, San Francisco had home field. We went there and beat them. So it's almost like a reset in your mind. But you also understand that the most experienced team, Tom, sometimes don't make like terrible mistakes. They don't hurt themselves. They wait until you do it and they take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, these guys are, and you pointed out astutely, they're battle tested now. They just got to get healthy. They have two safeties down, Zane and Evan, and they get one more injury at safety, they in bad shape.
Well, I think they're getting Zane Anderson back for
that
sure,
would help.
And Evan Williams is questionable. They're going to get Quay Walker back this week.
So if they get their guys
they're
back,
healthy. They just don't have Jair Alexander, but they haven't
Right.
had him all year.
Yeah, right. But if you watch the first game, they can beat Philly. The person they can't beat is themselves. Philly has a lot of opportunities that you can take advantage of.
Like what?
Oh my! Put this defense on the run and know where the one guy I'm pointing at is Zach Bond. To me, he's all pro.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the best linebackers I've ever seen. I mean, the guy's flat out one of the best free agents. Know where he is all the time and put their defense on the run. Now you should run screens against this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the one thing that Jalen Hurts bothers him? Cover two. But that means you're going to run Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Yes, you are. And you better not show them.
Saquon Barkley.
You better not show them the same look every single time, because Jalen Hurts can sit up there and change plays.
Yes.
And go to a read option and hurt you running the ball. I mean, this is going to have to be Jeff Hafley's best defensive game plan of his life to beat Philly, because they just put so much pressure on you.
What was the thing, the first time they played, he wanted to keep Jalen in the pocket, so they didn't even rush.
Right.
Go after the quarterback. Get him off his spot just like everybody else. Because listen, he's not going to beat you getting a first down. What he'll beat you is throwing those 50-yard bombs to number 11 and number 6. Mm-hmm. That's what demoralizes you, and that's what they want. That's what caused the infighting, Tom, when he wasn't getting the ball. Mm-hmm. So you could roll up on 11, frustrate him. He'll cause it for you on the sideline. Mm-hmm. Take away something and make them come up with another plan, because Saquon Barkley is the guy. Yes. But I don't know when the last time somebody got 100 yards on this defense. It's been a minute.
The Packers have the experience of playing good run defense against Detroit. And that's the best running team in the NFL. I mean, They got the two best running backs. You know,
Yes.
Philly's probably the best running team because of Barkley.
And they had the best two offensive lines.
Yeah.
That offensive line
Yeah.
in Philly is good, and so was Detroit. But they stopped the run. Gibbs didn't go crazy
Yeah,
the second time.
the downside was that Goff
He
beat
had
him
a
up.
career day. Yes.
But I don't know if Jalen Hurts can do what Goff did that day, and that's what we'll find out. I mean,
Yes.
they got to stop Barkley or just slow him down and find out if Hurts can beat him. I think that's probably the
Yes.
recipe, don't you?
I have no question about it. You have to use the psychology of what Philly fans would do. If I was speaking to the team, that's what I would tell them. We're going to use the reason why they hadn't won a Super Bowl the last few years against them. Take away something, because they're a me team.
Mm-hmm.
It's all me. The only guy that's a team guy is Barkley, because he would have wanted to go for the record. He said, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get ahead, the crowd will turn, the coach will go yell at the crowd, the players will start shoving, and the next thing you know, we got them. But we got to get ahead. So we're going to put a game plan together to get ahead and stay ahead.
Okay,
So
what
we're
is
gonna
the
be aggressive.
offensive game plan?
The offensive game plan is number 8. You can run the ball on the perimeter against Philly, but running up in the middle, I don't know if I would do it, those two big tackles.
Yeah.
But they should have ran the ball more in Chicago, up the middle, but they wanted to throw the ball for whatever reason.
And run
Here,
those end arounds.
run the ball and play action will be wide open. I don't know who that receiver is going to be without 9. I don't know. But play action gives you the separation you need to get down the field.
I think Kraft and Musgrave have to be huge parts of this game plan.
I agree.
I think
I agree.
they're the play action dudes.
I agree.
Musgrave can get down the field. Kraft needs to have at least 10 targets every game.
He
I
got
don't
the
know
best
why he
matchups.
doesn't. Yeah.
And I think the thing, if you go 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, 1 back, you could put 3 on one side and split Musgrave out by himself. Almost go back to what he did against Dallas.
Yeah.
Put him in, sneak him out, because they're not going to be having this was it'll be his 3rd game back. They don't have a game plan that will shut down 88. So I think you're right, tight ends is going to be paramount this week. And that really gives you a good chance on offense.
I want to see if they figure out a more creative way to use Malik Willis with Jordan Love.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
there's got to be more. I think they just did that to give Philly something to think about, but I think there's some ways to use Malik Willis's open field running ability. They got to figure it out.
All hands on deck.
Yeah. Got to
And
use
trust me,
everybody.
Philly, I have family in Philly, by the way, and they're all excited. But if you think about my aunt, who's a Packer fan, she's like, if they run the football and give Philly anything that they just, because Vic has seen everything. Their defensive coordinator, he's seen everything.
Yeah.
But what he hasn't seen from Matt is the unpredictability on obvious 2nd and 1 downs. You bring in Malik and you run a ride and decide, and he just runs it and runs out. And now you're just giving them an element of the wildcat, but it's with a quarterback that can throw.
Right. And you got them on the sideline talking about it instead of talking about their regular, adjustments that they need to make.
Absolutely. I would. Yeah, anything like, but one thing come real quick for me is just the hurry up offense, the Jordan Love offense, because the defense can't substitute.
Yeah.
And they got to relay calls.
And I think you get him in a rhythm. I think that's so important with a young guy like that.
Agreed.
The downside is, you don't want to give the ball up on 3 downs and then Philly's offense has it. But hey, it's playoff game. Do what you got to do.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we're at that mode.
All right, time for your prediction.
They look so confusing. They look tired, the Packers, and just not healthy. Philly is obviously a team that could have had number 1 overall seed, but and Saquon Barkley is the MVP candidate, I think. So I think, and I always had a key was the Packers has to score 30 to win games.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they win. But I think Philly will win 30-27. Yeah.
I think it will be a closer game than some people think, but
Yeah.
who am I to say?
Yeah. It ain't up to us. It's up to the Packers.
That's true. All right. Well, don't forget to check X's and O's. We will go over that very controversial last play.
I told you not to bring that up.
But even beyond that, we'll take a look at Jordan Love. And then, as a bonus, we're going to show you a couple of things the Packers have to defend against Saquon Barkley. So.
Yeah. Real quick before we go, how was in blogging doing it?
Ooh, that was an angry crowd. That was an angry crowd. I think people were talking about my mother a lot on that blog. Good thing I don't take that personal.
You're a brave man.
My mother, you'd be scared of my mother, so I wasn't too worried about that. But
so you'll be doing it again, right?
I will be.
Okay, good. You got to subscribe though, so it's not too late to subscribe, because you get a chance to ask great questions real time too, which is amazing.
And get under my skin.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, just go to LeRoyButlerInc.com. Looking for new sponsors for this year, 2025. And again, as always, thank you to the fans. And go to my website again, LeRoyButlerInc.com. We will be having a watch party at some place in the Milwaukee area. So just stay tuned for that. That's it.
All right. Check out X's and O's. Check
Yeah,
out
be
the
nice
blog
to Tom.
on game day. Yeah, be nice to me. And look forward to talking to you after next week.
Go Pack.